Okay, we're going to turn the RF on button on. Now we have RF on. So the frequency we're looking at is 2.5 gigahertz. As we were saying on the transmitter, it was set at 2.5 gigahertz. And as we said before, I believe we have external attenuation pads at 50, 20, and 10, which adds up to 80 dB of external attenuators, and the log on the scale is 10 dB per division. So if we count up above the noise floor, we'll have 80 on external attenuators and 10, 20, about 25 plus 80 is 105, and we would refer to that as the reference. So we have 105 dB of reference, or it's also referred to as dynamic range. So again, each grid is 10 dB, so it's 10, 20, at least 25, plus your 80, so that's 105 dB of reference between the two antennas. Now, we keep that distance maintained when we go inside the room. We'll keep the antenna on the transmitting side approximately 4 feet away from the wall, and the receiving antenna about 2 inches away from the seams, and we probe the seams with the receiving antenna. And once we close the door, we'll take out the attenuation pads. We have no attenuation in the machine, in the analyzer. It's at 0 dBm, or 0 dB rather. So when we close the door, we'll take the external attenuator pads out, and we don't have to do anything to the machine. We don't have to adjust any settings. Whatever we see above the noise floor, we'll subtract that from the 105. So if it went up 5 dB, we subtract 5 from, if it went to this point here, about 5 dB, we would subtract 5 from 108, would give us a dynamic range of 103 dB, right?
Right.
So, like I say, you do not have to adjust anything because we're using these external attenuator pads and we're reading above the noise floor. So there's no other adjustments to be made except to unscrew the external attenuator pad, make sure the door is closed so you don't bring too much power to the analyzer without any protection in the front of the RF input. Another thing to note, on the analyzer, your connection is going to be at RF in, not the RF out connector. It's the connector on the left, and it says RF in, 50 ohm. Also, when you're running this machine, it has a charger that goes into the AC outlet, and it will charge the analyzer as it's running. It can run on battery power alone, but the battery will run down fairly quickly, so it's a good idea to keep the instrument on charge as you're using it if there's an AC outlet available inside the room.